Hello everyone, my name is Geyu Gou. Today I'm going to talk about film Django Unchained. The film background is set in 1858, 2 years before the American Civil War. The story roughly tells the story of a German bounty hunter, King Schultz, who bought Django, a black slave, from a slave trader and set him free. Schultz trained Django to be his helper and worked with him to capture the wanted man. Django offered in exchange for Schultz's help to save his wife from the candy landowner Kenne. But movies are more about storytelling than about the real history. The first history inaccurate is dynamite are used many times in the film. In fact, in 1863, the Nobel Company established the first factory for the production of natural glycerin and dynamite. Dynamite was not possible in 1858. The reason why dynamite are used in movies is that it can give the audience a stronger visual impact and make the audience more involved in watching the movie. The two means that used dynamite was the destruction of the Ku Klux Klan, which symbolized white supremacy, and the blow up the mandan, which symbolized slavery. The use of explosives can be transmitted to the audience for slavery, and white supremacy would be crushed. The second historical inaccurate is the appearance of the Ku Klux Klan in the film. In fact, the Ku Klux Klan was first formed in 1865 by 6 veterans of the Allied forces. The presence of the Ku Klux Klan in the film is primarily intended to mock and satirize the infamous Ku Klux Klan, as well as to indicate that there may be people who may resort to extremism because of their discontent. The third inaccurate incident is Mandingo, which is black gladiator fights. The Mandingo fighting is a very important part of the film. However, there is no clear historical evidence of Mandingo fighting. The main purpose of using Mandingo fighting here is to describe the ruthlessness and the cruelty of the mine owners, and deepen the audience's hatred of slavery. On the other hand, it's a tribute to another 1975 movie, which is Mandingo. Although the film is wrong in many points of time and events, but it is correct in the broad context. The slavery of that time is clearly described in the film. In the movie, it is said that slaves are legally the private property of the slave owners, who can do whatever they want with the slaves. And there is a scene in which Calvin breaks the skull of black people to show that black people have innate civility, and so on. This all describe slavery at the time. At that time, the law did define slaves as the private property of the slave owners, and there were many scientists who used scientific means to defend slavery. There are many things in the film that emphasize slavery at that time. One of the challenges of portraying history in a film is that it can sometimes make the story seem boring without changing it a little bit. In Django, for example, the absence of explosive may have reduced the audience appeal. The second challenge is that some historical events are full of violence and dirty words. These are difficult to fully express and cannot bring educational significance to young people. The third challenge is that it is sometimes difficult to find objects and clothes from the past that are the most authentic of the scene. Filmmakers respond to these challenges by trying to capture as much as of the history as possible, making sure it is read in the context. In response to questions about violence, the filmmakers have labeled On the Edge, wheeling off limits, and glossed over some of the bloody scenes. In terms of costumes and props, such as Django Unchained, the filmmakers refer to other westerns movies or other works of art, such as oil painting at that time, and sought professional team to design and make relevant costumes. Django Unchained describes the slavery at that time, which directly shows the plight of the black people at that time and the cruelty of the slave owners. It prompts the audience to think not only about the past, but also about present and the future. In the movie, Calvin is a well-mannered gentleman, but he has a different attitude towards the slavery. He can watch the black people die in front of his eyes, and he enjoys this process. It makes us wonder if the well-behaved gentleman is a dark man at heart. Calvin said in the film that his black slave shaved him every day, but never thinks that he can slit his master's throat and do not need to accept his fate as a slave anymore. This leads us to reflect on why black people did not resist. In addition, in the end, Django opened the prison of black slaves, but they did not come out and watched Django leave. It is reflected that black people need not only physical liberation, but more mental and spiritual salvation. This may lead to a reflection on the present and the future. Some people are on the road of chasing money and desire. Under the pressure of society, they have forgotten their dreams and forgotten to resist the injustice of society. Overall, this film is right in the larger context of the times, but the description and timing of many events are incorrect. As a violent, authentic film is undoubtedly successful. It can also be used as a bridge to understand slavery. By changing some history, filmmakers can make artistic expression more prominent and attract audience better. If it can attract more audience to watch, it can separate more relevant history so that people can reflect on it better. Thanks.